Hello, this is Michelle Sizemore. I'm a Creative Memories Advisor, and today I'm going to show you how to make these two different types of shamrocks using our Creative Memories custom cutting system. Let's set these aside. With the cutting system, you need a mat and your blades, and we have all kinds of templates that go with this. We have circles and ovals and rectangles and gemstones and big ones, little ones, but today what I'm going to use is mainly this one. Now I'm going to put a piece of white cardstock under here so you can see this a little better. So I'm going to use a smaller heart that comes in the gemstone pack, and then I'm going to use this bigger one for the stem that goes with it. But since I want to make this size shamrock, I'm going to use this size of heart. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this one first because it's the easiest one. And literally all you do is you take your green cardstock. You could do any shade of green that you like. Excuse me. And I'm going to use my red blade. When you open up your blade, it's going to come this way first. It's going to be closed because you want to keep it closed when you store it. You press with your finger and thumb here on these little notches. Flip it over real careful. You don't want to cut yourself on this blade because it's sharp. Okay? Pop that into place. And this actually spins around. It's really cool. If you have the really, really old blades from a long time ago, they don't spin like this. And I would suggest that you try these newer ones because they really are awesome and they're easier to work with. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put these two little teeth that stick out inside this track right here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there is like a track here and a track here. We want to cut outside, so we're going to go on this outside track. And then all you do is hold it down. If you're right-handed, you hold it down with your left hand and you cut with your right hand, which is what I'm doing. If you're not, you do it the other way. And I'm just going to slowly, I'm going to press kind of firm, because when you're going around these curves, it's easy to kind of let up by accident. So I'm pressing pretty firm. A little bit more firm than I have to with the circles and ovals. And then I'm just going to move this to make sure it cut all the way around, and it did before I ever move this. If it wouldn't budge on me, like let's say it was stuck, that just meant that I missed a part and I would need to just go back around one more time or go back to the part that was not cut. And that's all you do to get your, one piece of your clover. And then I've already cut some other ones out just for teaching purposes. You would just put them together, kind of like this. You have to overlap them just a little bit so you won't have a hole in the middle. And you kind of want to make sure it's centered on your paper. You could put a pattern paper around it too. I just chose white because it shows better in the video. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little part that's kind of not smooth. I'm going to take these micro scissors. There it is, right there. And just cut that off. These little micro scissors are great for when you want to do little things or curve around. Normally, I just use these scissors, but for little things, I'll have these. We sell both of these. All right. Then, again, I've placed these where I want them. Make sure you're kind of centered or however you want it to be. There you go. And then one at a time, flip these over and just put your repositionable tape runner down. Little dabs all over. Put that down. Put that one down. You kind of do them like this so they're spread out a little bit. Put this one down and this one. And there you go. You have your 4-leaf clover for St. Patrick's Day. And then to get your stem like this, I used the big heart that goes with the gemstone patterns and just used part of it. I used my red blade and kind of cut around down one side of it because I want like a curvy stem, and then move this out as wide as you want your stem to be. And I think looking at it, that looks good to me. And then I'm just going to cut that way. Okay, and then I just take my scissors, cut this and this, and now I have a curvy part that I can turn into a stem. And you can make it as long as you want. You can flip it the other way. I like it this way where it's skinnier at the top and gets a little wider at the bottom. So I'm just going to put some tape runner behind here and actually cut a little bit off the top because I don't need that much. And then just stick it up under here. Since I use a repositionable tape runner, it's easy to pull everything up. It's more pliable. Over time, it settles down. But I don't work with anything with crafting other than that repositionable tape runner. Really, I just love it. So, okay. And then you can make this as long as you want, turn it as much as you want to get it kind of curvy. It's up to you. So there's the way to do that one. It's really quick and easy. Now I will show you this one. Okay, so I'm going to cut exactly the same way I did with that heart that I just showed you with the red blade and the smaller heart. I did the same thing. I just cut 4 of those out with this light green paper, and I got 4 of these. So I'm not going to do it again since I already did that. Now the other thing I'm going to do is cut out with the dark green paper using the blue blade because it's the widest out blade. So because I want the look of a matte to go behind my light green. So I use the same method as I did before. And I'm going to cut this one, and it's going to be just the right size to matte behind my light green. Okay? And then I just put my tape runner, get this white so you can see it better, on the back of my light green. Little dabs all over. You definitely don't want to just go all the way because you're going to waste a lot. You just need little dabs, especially like in the corners, on the sides, maybe one in the middle. And then you just put it on top of this. And then you do 4 of those. And then you position them the same way, just like you did your other one, and you cut your stem the same way. So that's how to get that look. This would also be cool to cut the red blade, the blue blade to get the bigger dark green ones. And then if you had photos that fit here, or pattern paper, in shades of green or something, you could cut those with the red blade and just get a different look. Or you could even put ruled paper and turn one of them into a journal box and the rest photos, or some photos and some paper. Totally up to you what you want. I'm going to show you one more thing. And it's a different way to get this look. Okay? I'm going to use my paper that I've already used, and I'm going to cut a heart first with the blue blade because it's going to be the biggest blade going out. And we actually have a template, a clear template that shows you all the colors, red, green, and blue for the blades. I don't have it handy right now. I've kind of worked with this enough to where I don't need those all the time, but when you're a beginner, I suggest you use those. They come with the templates. It's just a clear template, and it has lines that show you how big certain blades cut. So I'm going to cut the biggest one with the blue blade because it goes the furthest out from my template. Okay? So I did that. Move your paper to make sure you cut all the way through. Do not move your template at all. Make sure it stays in the exact same spot. Go back, hold it down firmly, and now cut with the red blade, which is going to be closer in toward the template. Here you go. I think I let up there, so I'm going to go backwards. The blade works front and back, which is nice. And this little groove part, I kind of go over a couple times because it tends to, just because it's so intricate. Okay, now, because I did that, I end up with 2 hearts. I have, get the paper, this heart, and this heart. So what you can do is you could use this one to do the solid look that I showed you at first, and use this one. You could either put 4 of these like this and have just a different look. And if I had one more, I'd put it here. Or you could do this and cut a lighter green with the red blade, and just, so first you would, excuse me a second, I'm going to get my cardboard, because usually I like to work on cardboard when I'm putting my repositionable tape runner on the back of things, because that way when the extra little clear dots come off, they stick to this and not to my table. You can't even hardly see them. They're just little tiny clear sticky dots. And I would put this down. Of course, I would do it more like this if I'm going to put 4 more of them. And just stick it down. And then I would put my tape runner on the back of the lighter green heart and just stick it on the inside of this, making sure no white shows on the edges, and get the same exact look as I did with that. So it's just a different way of doing the same thing. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you have a great day.